Becky Lynch gives a pep talk to Lyra Valkyria, and that takes us to our first semifinal match with Lyra and Io Sky, clocking in at 19 minutes that they went here. Lyra went for a European clutch at one point. Sky turned it into a crossface. Sky picked up a bloody nose here at the midway point. After an Asai moonsault by Sky, she stops a tornado DDT. They go through a second commercial. And then after Sky misses the double knees, then Lyra hits the tornado DDT successfully. Sky returns, hits the double knees over the moonsault, misses on several occasions. And then Sky tries for the sunset bomb, but then Sky collapses, can't get over, and gets up over the moonsault, but Lyra rolls away. The Nightwing gets countered, and then Sky goes for the sunset, and Lyra doing the bulldog Brett finish here with the hook, with the legs being hooked, and just leans down. 19 minutes, 16 seconds. Lyra Valkyria gets the win.
I thought this was a really strong match, bell to bell. Not very high on crowd response, but the in-ring content I thought was really strong. Great counters, great callbacks to things that were done earlier in the match. Things that worked the first time but didn't the second time, or didn't work the first time and worked the second time they went back to it. I think Io has been wrestling really, really well since Mania. You know, she's just like wrestled a lot faster and has become a lot more dynamic for whatever reason. But for Valkyria to kind of like be able to go at the same pace, I think it really shows you how good Lyra Valkyria is, which is all you could probably ask for out of a tournament like this for a newcomer like her. So they're clearly, you know, using this as a vehicle to try to put her into the spotlight, possibly even giving her the entire tournament at the end, but certainly putting her in the finals itself is more of a vote of confidence than anything to show you that this is somebody that the audience should be paying attention to. In ring, she's great. But as a personality, I mean, she just simply does not have that connection yet. I think the promos at this point have sounded very generic, if not almost a bit insincere. She is missing a bit of authenticity to her voice and really a unique personality, I would say, at least on, you know, from what we've seen thus far in the main roster.
In fairness, her ability to convey any kind of personality was driven by the following question. Lyra, could you have imagined this 3 weeks ago before you were drafted? No, I could not have imagined this 3 weeks ago, but I am one Nightwing away from becoming Queen of the Ring. I'm with you. Like they are obviously putting a lot into Lyra Valkyria, but if you are just the raw viewer here, and I would even extend this, like, it's not like the NXT run, she had this grand depth to her either. Like the defining characteristic is I was born in the same country as Becky Lynch.
Yeah. That was about the most interesting that I felt was when like they were telling the story in connection with her and Becky, and like, you know, going to that seminar that Becky Lynch was also at. But even that's a type of character that we've seen so often. You know, I've trained really hard. Now I'm here. Oftentimes when it comes to like baby faces, it's going to require a heel turn in order to drag something like that out, and maybe we'll eventually get that with her pairing with Becky against Becky on the main roster.
I think this is probably where we're going. I think Lyra should win this tournament, and I think that sets up Becky and Lyra as whether it's Clash at the Castle or something else.
Yeah, would be an interesting way of going about it. So, does this give you any indication about who will win the SmackDown side of things?
I think that I kind of feel, just based on Paul Levesque's history of booking these tournaments, that I think he likes to sometimes put the two like baby faces together, and it's more of a like 50-50 split, and could see them doing Bianca and Lyra in the final.
Bianca and Lyra, though, will not be a 50-50 split. I think it'll be an audience that'll cheer for Bianca over Lyra. And is that the type of overshadowing you want for a brand new baby face?
I wouldn't be concerned about that. If the audience leans one way, that's fine. I think the idea is to go out there and have like a really incredible match together. I mean, you could go if you are, then you do have Nia as the more traditional matchup, but and you do have kind of the out with Bianca with this knee injury as well. That could be played as something coming out of this. I think it's the more interesting match, but the safe option, I guess, is Nia.
Yeah, I see Nia winning myself.
Jay does a promo, says there is no tomorrow. There is a tomorrow. There is unfinished business. I nearly had you last time, Gunther, and Gunther's going to catch a yeet down, and he's going to catch a crown. And he walks backstage and out into the arena for the main event with Gunther. And the focus of this match was Gunther ripping this man's arm apart and focusing on the right shoulder that he just destroyed nonstop. There's a Kimura that he applies on the turnbuckle, and Jay breaks out of it with a Samoan drop, and he fires up, but then Gunther unloads with chops, and he just destroys this guy. He's got this welt across his chest, which is pretty much the edge of Gunther's hand coming at him multiple times. He hits a power bomb, then into a Fujiwara armbar, but Jay's able to roll out. And then a release German is hit. Gunther goes to the top, lands the splash for a 2 count, and then takes his head off with a lariat. Back to the chops, and Gunther is just relentless here. And he then is warned by the referee. He's giving him to the count of 5. And with the temporary distraction, Jay manages a spear, and he takes down Gunther and the referee, hits the Uso splash, and he struggles to get over, finally does. The referee comes to, counting to 2. Gunther kicks out and then just torques the arm and applies a body scissors onto him for this choke, and puts out Jay in 17 minutes and 41 seconds. And we got the Raw special here where the bell rang and we were off the air within like 10 seconds of this match ending. There was I don't think Gunther even got to his feet. Like there was no like hero shot or anything. They were running right against the clock here.
A bit surprising because, I mean, are we just not doing overruns anymore?
They never do overruns on Raw.
Since when?
For a long time. They don't ever do overruns.
Is it just because it's 11?
Yeah, they got rid of the overruns a while ago, and they are pretty much the odd time. Like there was a time maybe a month ago, they went like a minute over, and that was notable. They are always off by 11. Like they are very hard and fast with that end.
Yeah, some people in the chat room saying that they had their endings cut off here. So
yeah, they might have gone a little past the hour here, but yeah. So they were they had no cushion here.
A really good match, I thought. You know, I remember having maybe a slightly stronger reaction to the February match, but I thought this was probably equally as excellent. Gunther's shoulder work is incredible. It's all so varied and all looks so very brutal. It's really just kind of outstanding. I think guys like Gunther and Dragunov, you know, who hit hard and bring a lot of energy in every move of their matches, they really add excitement to Jey Uso's style. Both of these 2 matches over the past 2 weeks have been some of like Jay's best matches during this run. So really, really strong match here.
Yeah, I thought Gunther had a great performance. I think Jay is still really trying to navigate into a singles run that I would not say this was on what like the higher level of some of Gunther's big matches, but I really did enjoy like the arm work throughout. Like it was still engaging from that sense. But I still feel like the jury is out to where Jey Uso is going to be, say, 6 months from now. I think he's a work in progress as like that top babyface performer that can really be the lead guy on Raw, and he's being thrust into that position now with the injuries to Rollins and Punk. That, you know, he's certainly over. He's popular, but I don't feel he's made that ascension yet to where you feel like this is like the number one babyface.
It remains to be seen if he is just a temporary, you know, sort of top guy while CM Punk and Seth Rollins are out of the mix. Or does he have that staying power where he could actually be a future world champion and you know, leader of the entire promotion? I think everything except for his singles, like high profile singles matches, has been amazing. You know, like his connection to the crowd, the entrance is incredible. I think his promos have gotten a lot better. But when it comes to like him leading in, not wrestling a Gunther style match, but like Jey Uso style match, it falters just a little bit. But I mean, he is a very good wrestler, like part of one of the best tag teams ever. So I'm sure it only takes maybe a bit of adjustment.
Does this lean you towards one candidate over the other for the SmackDown final on the men's side?
Oh yeah. I think it'll be Randy.
That would seem to be the logical choice. I think an intriguing match to see of Gunther and Randy Orton.
Yeah. Tama versus Gunther makes no sense.